Okay, hello guys. In this video tutorial, we are looking at this time around checkboxes. Okay, like I said earlier, checkboxes are used to capture data when we are required a user to select more than one data. Yes, more than one data. For example, we want to capture what a user have in a room. We can use checkbox. We want to capture maybe the course that a user have studied so far, or maybe a language that a user can speak. We can now use checkbox. So let's continue with the form we are creating. Okay, let's assume this is a kind of application form. I want to capture what do I say, number of languages that whoever that is filling this form can speak, right? So how are we going to do it? Okay, you notice that this register button is not showing from our result because of this screen area size. So let me just break line so that it will show. Let me break line before after this closing form. BR. Okay, I just want everything to be showing on this. Okay, if I scroll now, you see the register button. Okay, I want to do a checkbox here. So we want to ask the user now, how many language can you speak? Okay, or select the language you can speak very well. So let me use this to tell you when we are doing checkbox. Okay, checkbox. Okay, look at how we do checkbox. We equally use this input type. Input. Now this time around we are now saying checkbox. Okay, once you say checkbox, okay, we write the value. What will be the value? What are we storing in the database? Then here comes what are we showing the user? Okay, let me say we want to store this in the database ENG. We want the user to see English, right? Okay, we can just come here and say select language you can speak. Select languages that you can speak. Okay, remember we are using checkbox to capture more than one data, unlike radio button where you choose only one from the list. Okay, I break line here and I break line here again. Okay, capture this, press it like 5 times. Okay, here I want to write, here I should be French. Okay, let me call this FR. Here should be Spanish, SPN. Okay, here should be Greek. Okay, let me say GRK. Okay, which other language do we put here? Which other language? Let me say China. Okay, and this is China. So value is what we are storing in the database, whereby this one you are seeing here is what we are showing the user. Okay, if I run this code again, you will see what we have. Okay, we have the checkbox here now. The user can say, I can speak English, I can speak Spanish, I can speak China. You see here, a user can choose more than one from our list. Okay, so that's it. Now for the back end guys, they will make sure that this has the same name. All of them have the same name. They can call the name of it language, right? To make sure that all this data is just for language. So let me just paste this throughout here. Okay, okay, that's it. All of them have to have the same name so that computer will know that they are submitting to one place. You should not bother yourself about this. The person doing the back end should do it. But if the person have already finished the back end, he will not tell you, look at what should be the name. Then you now do it so that when you are submitting the data, it will work without any problem. Okay, but what about there is a one you want to make mandatory? Maybe in this form you want to make sure that the user must speak English. Okay, you can automatically mark this for the user by using checked. This English, if I want to mark it, I will just do this checked, something like this, checked. Once I did checked, this one will be checked automatically. This attribute will mark this, right? Okay, I refresh, you see English is marked. I cannot mark it, but if I refresh, it's marked. Okay, sorry for clicking that. Okay, I can equally mark China. Okay, assuming I want to mark English and China for this guy, I use checked. See that both English and China is marked. But what about in this place now? I want to make sure that the user must speak English, and I want to mark it and select it by force. Then let the China be optional. Maybe the person can decide to unclick China, maybe he's not speaking China, but I want to make sure that whoever that is filling this form can hear English and can speak English very well. So what I have to do is that for this English, after making China, I will now do a kind of read only, because if I use disable, I am not going to submit this particular information, right? So that's why I'm using read only. So let me refresh. You see I have English and China. I can uncheck China, but I cannot. Okay, I have unchecked English and I have unchecked China. Okay, I think I'm going to use disabled. Yes, I'm going to use disabled, right? Okay, and I refresh. Okay, you see I cannot uncheck this English. I can uncheck China, but someone might ask me, then since you are using disabled, how are you going to submit this data? Okay, that calls for us using these hidden controls. Hidden controls, let me use this opportunity to explain it, since opportunity has called for it. We are using it to submit a data that we are not even showing the user. What do I mean? Maybe the person filling this form, you want to capture the registration date, right? You can use the hidden form. If you want to capture like this English now, I can use the hidden form. Then this thing now that I'm using now, since I'm using disabled, it's just a kind of to show the user that look at what I'm submitting. You understand? A kind of, I have taken this thing for you and I am submitting it for you. But actually, since I have did it disabled, I'm not actually submitting the one I have showed him. So I have to create a hidden one which I will submit. So the hidden form goes like this: input type, you now use hidden. Nobody is going to see. Now value now is where you put what you want to queue in. So in this value now, I'm going to say the value now should be ink. Okay, I'm talking about this. Then I'll copy this now, replace it here. Name is language. So I don't actually need to use name here because I am not even submitting this. Even if I didn't use value here, it doesn't matter because I'm not submitting this. I hope you understand. But if I use name, value, it doesn't mean anything. This thing now just looks like a kind of paragraph tag, header tag. It doesn't have anything to do with the form because of I am using disabled. I have automatically disabled it. So whether this or this, so what I'm trying to do is just to show the user that I checked this for you and this is English, but actually look at the one I'm using to submit it, which is the hidden. Then maybe I want to equally capture the registration date. Can copy this. Let me say this is the name is reg date. This is determined by the, how do I say it, by the back-end developer. Okay, so let me say the value is today's date. Let me say that today's date is 23/08/2025. I can put this like this. Once I submit this form, automatically I will save this for the guy and save this for the guy. But two of them are hidden. You cannot see it in the form. See, I refresh. You cannot see them in the form, but actually they are there waiting for me to submit so that they can be saved. Okay, that is all for the hidden control. Yes, hidden control. So this time around we are moving for the radio bus control. Now for the radio bus, we are using it to choose one among the list, maybe male or female, gender stuff, or something that we know that you cannot do more than two. Maybe what is your marital status? You cannot be single and married at the same time. So whenever we want to capture such form, we use the radio button. Okay, how do we do the radio button? I have to use H3 now. Let me call here radio form. Let me just use the word form. Okay, let me say radio button form. Okay, so how do we do it here? First of all, let me say gender, right? I break line, or let me not break line, let me just leave it here. Okay, we still do input type, but this time around our input type is radio. Okay, now we put the value. Okay, let me say the value is M. It's just similar to checkbox. Okay, the value is M, and what we want to show the user is male. Okay, so we now give our space. You know how we do it, unbreakable space, right? I just want to give a little bit space. Okay, because I don't want to break a line. I want all of them to be in the same line. So once I have this space like this, I can copy this, paste it here. Okay, let me call this one F. Okay, and this is female. Okay, remember I have to give two of them the same name. Let me say name is gender. I copy, I paste it here. Okay, the gender. Okay, look at what I did. Let me break this here so that you understand. Input type is radio, the name is gender, the value is M, but what we are showing the user is male. Okay, radio, the same name, value now is F. What we are showing the user is female. Okay, we say gender, choose either male or female, but when you choose male we are submitting M. When you choose female we are submitting F. Okay, let's refresh. Okay, you see the radio button, you see how it is. I can only choose one, but in checkbox I can choose more than one. Okay, see, either I choose male or I choose female, male or female. Okay, assuming that I'm expecting a higher number of male to fill this form, I can automatically choose male, but somebody who wants to fill this form can change it from male to female. So how am I going to do that? I'm just going to use that attribute check. If I check male, male will be checked, right? Let me refresh this code again. You see male is checked, but I can change it to female. Once I select female, male goes out. It's not ideal for you to check male and equally check female. No. Someone cannot be male and female, right? You can only do this when you are using checkbox, but in radio button you don't do such thing. It's not a good programming. You see, computer will automatically select one for you. Computer cannot select both of them because it knows that what you are using is radio button and one data is required. So you just either you check female. If I use female, I see that female will be checked, or you check male. Let me remove female and check only male. We now see that male will be checked. But if you use both of them, computer will automatically choose one for you, especially the last one. Okay, I think that's all for radio button. Let's move. We have the select bus. Select bus and radio button are almost the same thing, but the difference between radio button and select bus is that select bus, it is true you can select only one value from the list, although it's making use of drop down. Radio button, you can select only one value, but it is ideal for you to use select bus whenever you have a whole number of data for someone to select. Maybe you want the person to select country. You see that we have a whole number of data for country. We have more than 100 countries. You cannot use radio button because it will be difficult for the person to find, and secondly, the person might end up your design might end up not looking good. It will cover a whole lot of space. But when you use when you use select bus, someone can click on the drop down and select the one that he is looking for. So two of them are used to select one option from a list, but when the data is too much, you go for select bus. When the data is not too much, it goes for radio bus. Okay, that's why we have select bus and radio bus. So in select bus, it's a little bit complex, looks similar like the one of list. Okay, let me say H3. Let me call this select bus, right? Okay, in select bus, first of all, we start with this tag select. You see that every form has this attribute name, but let me still leave this name. Let me call this name country for the back end, guys. Okay, inside here, after you write your select bus, you write your select tag, opening and closing tag. You now start with option. This is where you fill up what should be there. You know that the value is what we are submitting, and what should be in between here is actually what the user is seeing. Okay, let me say NGN, okay, which is Nigeria. Let me use it for Nigeria. Okay, let me say USA here. Let me use capital letter. USA is for America. Let me just call it America. Okay, let me say this is Canada. Let me call it Can. Okay, let me say this is Egypt, EGY. Let me say Ghana. I don't know whether this is correct. Let me just call it GH. Let me say England. Let me use ENG. Okay, so actually this is what we are showing the user, and this is actually what we are submitting. So to make it look more nice, I can now say here select a country. There are two ways we can do this. Okay, let me just break line. Okay, so let me test this code again. You see what we have now. This is the select bus. Okay, let me break down so that this register will come down here. After writing this, I didn't break line, so let me just break line here. Okay, you see what we have here. This is the select. I can only select one, but due to the list is plenty, you understand, it is better than using radio. Okay, so let me break more line. Okay, from this Just want to double it, double again, so that this will go up a bit. Okay, let me scroll. Okay, now you see I can now select a country. Okay, now I say select country. I can do this in another way by just remember, this makes use of required. Please don't forget, all the forms make use of required. Okay, required is the one you want to make it to be mandatory, right? Okay, let me remove this. Okay, I can do something like this. I can say since I noticed that the first one, like Nigeria, which is the first one, always come first, right? Okay, I can do something like this here. I can say select country here, select country, no value. Okay, so that this will come first, right? So that you will see it. And when you click now, you see the list of country. What about you see this is select country. Somebody can even select this and want to submit it for me. What about if I don't want you to select it? What do? I can disable it. Okay, I can disable it. You see, since I disable it, it's no longer showing here. But what about if I want it to show? What do? I can write this selected. Okay, I want computer to select it, but also disable it, right? I refresh. You see, it's been selected. But when I click, you see that this is disabled. I cannot select it, but I can select any other country. I mistakenly click this submit. Okay, I can select, but I cannot select this select country because it's been disabled. Okay, so what about maybe I want England to be selected, despite that England is the last one. I want it to be selected here. I just change this to this. If I run this code, England will not appear to be the first because it is the one being selected. Okay, you see I have England. So this selected tag is used for you to determine the one that will come first, right? Now since I want this to come first, I do it selected and I equally do disabled, okay, so that no one can choose it. Now there's something again. For instance, you see I have it here, and once I click here, I equally see it in the list. This is disabled, right? And selected. I don't want to see it in the list, right? So that because you are not selecting it, no need seeing it in the list. So if I want it not to show in the list, I have to use this attribute known as hidden. Okay, I put this attribute hidden. This attribute hidden will hide it from the list, right? Let me refresh. Okay, coming back here, you see it's no longer showing in the list. So this shows what you want to do. Select country, you now come to this place and select. Now assuming I'm banning some country, I'm banning people from Ghana to register. I can just say disabled. Once I put disabled here, okay, if I refresh, they will see Ghana guys, but they cannot select Ghana, right? Okay, someone will say, why do you even put Ghana? Why not remove Ghana from the list? Okay, the reason why it's good for you to put all the country and start disabling the ones you don't want to choose is because those who are looking for the country will see it there and they will know that you purposely don't want them to register, right? Maybe due to one reason or the other. But if you didn't put it there, they will thought that maybe your website is not complete. Some will start to chat you up. Some start to call the website manager or start to call the phone number in the website telling them I couldn't find my country. But when you put your the country and say disabled, right, the person knows that actually either you don't want people from that country to register or you are banning them. But he will just know that this is a purposeful act, something that you do knowingly. But if you decided to remove it, the method that it escape your memory. That's why it's good for you to put it. Then you can equally disable it so that people cannot be able to choose it, right? This equally goes for the radio button, right? Okay, let me do the one for the radio button here. Let me just come here. Let me say marital status. Now this thing, now you want it to be only for people who have tested marriage, people who knows about marriage, right? Okay, so okay, let me not just confuse anybody. Let me bring this down here and says input. Okay, let me say the type is radio, the value is married. Okay, and what I want to show the user is married. Okay, let me just copy this space, paste it here, come down, paste again. Okay, copy this and then put it here. Okay, copy, put it here. Look, I said married, I will say divorced. I don't know whether it's correct. Please don't mind this thing. What I really want us to know is that we are learning. Okay, then I say single. Now here I don't want single people to come into this place. Okay, I can say single people, you guys are disabled. Sorry, you guys are disabled, right? I only want married and people who are who have divorced. Maybe, you know, these people already have tested marriage, these people tested and still in the marriage, these people tested and run away. Okay, their name should be the same thing. Let me say mat status. Okay, I'll copy this and replace it here. I don't even need to put name here because this is disabled, right? I don't want to stress myself with this. Okay, coming back to my platform, you see you can choose marriage, you can choose divorce, single people, nothing for you. Okay, now when they see this single and notice that it's been disabled, they will know that yes, the owner of the website, the owner of the app did not forget that there are single people, but actually doesn't want them to join the platform. That's all for the radio button and the select box. The another thing remaining is the file select, the hidden control, and the buttons. So in our next video tutorial, I'm going to talk about the rest, which is this. Thank you so much.